But most, I would say, I sometimes
wools.
use red and yellow, and that's it.
Yeah, I can't see myself using a whole bunch of the magenta.
Pink,
Yeah,
orange,
pink. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Dark green, light green. Yeah, you've got loads to actually choose from. Well, you got 16, but still.
Food check.
I'm okay, thank you. I've just been standing here watching you work. I think I'm going to enchant some boots and see what boots I get. Was it boots you did? You got a protection 4 on your boots?
Yes, that was the boots.
You might as well put level 30s on them if you. Although you know they're not going to last forever, are they? They're not going to last very long. Still, why not?
Yeah, and it's so quick now to get it, so.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes for each one. Which, when you consider it, we used to do like 2 hours and everything to get a level 50.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh wow!
What'd you get?
I'll give them. You can have a look. You can have them actually. Interesting. I can't imagine what the first enchantment's used for, but here you go. I'm going to throw them to you. Right behind you. There you go.
Let's see what you got. Fire protection 3, feather falling 4. Wow. That is a really nice set of boots.
Yeah. What would you use fire protection for, though? Walking through the nether?
Maybe, yeah. That's... would it help you from lava?
I have no idea. Well, it might help you when you set on fire, I suppose, by things like ghasts.
Yeah.
Well, no, ghasts don't set you on fire, do they? I can't remember now.
Yeah, they will.
Blazes, I mean, blazes.
And gas will set the blocks around you on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Which usually sets you on fire by the time it's done.
True. Well, I presume they must count for lava because the portion itself is just fire resistance, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not like lava protection or anything, so yeah. Nice.
I wouldn't like to test them out in that way, though. Yeah, so with Technic, I just delete all the mods that are in the mod folder that I don't really want.
Sure.
You know, I don't think it's still in it now, but when it had Millionaire in it, I always deleted that.
Yeah, really doubt Millionaire's in it anymore.
Yeah. Stormcraft, the only reason I delete that is for the corruption. I wish actually that there was some way they could make that where it was an option you could switch on and off, like certain of the more creatures monsters, you know. But I suppose it's like one of the main premises of the actual mod itself is the fact that you can have corrupted. You know, you have good air, good magic and bad magic, really, in a way, I suppose.
Right.
But I do like the industrial craft and build craft and red power. Those three, they're the sort of like technology-based ones.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. It's just logical sense, you know. You build a stone furnace. The next step is to build an iron furnace, which can smelt 2 items more per coal. That's all it does, you know. Then you build an electric one, which if you power it, it doesn't use the fuel. Great, yeah. You know? And then eventually you get up to induction furnaces, which will smelt 2 items at once incredibly quickly. But like it, you know, logical steps.
Right. And as you said, the thing that I'd never, I'd enjoyed playing around with better than wolves, but just had never gotten, had never advanced very far in it. I still like some of the stuff in it. I'd love. Does it have? Does BuildCraft have anything equivalent to like the ropes and pulleys and platforms and that sort of thing?
Um, there's a thing called frames, but in my opinion, it's not as quite as well done as the Better Than Wolves platforms moving.
Yeah.
But what they do is they mean you've got complete freedom of movement. If you can figure out how to direct them, you can move them left, right, up and down, however you want them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot more of a complicated system. It's not just a case of putting a pulley, putting a rope on it, and then letting it go.
Right. Because I really did enjoy that part. I had not worked my way to it yet, but I liked the concept of having the platforms and the ropes with the pulleys that you could pull them up and pull them down and make elevators out of them. And
Well, you can certainly do elevators and everything with this thing called frames. You just got to. It looks a bit like a bit of scaffolding you put round things, and then everything that this frame touches, it will move. It will move the blocks. So if you put 4 blocks down for the base of the platform, and then put a ring of frames around it, you can actually move them.
Okay.
You have to build a frame motor, it's called, and tell it which way to move and everything, and a bit more controlling on it. But
Sure, that
So-
works.
yeah. But the thing I actually enjoy the most, actually, really, about the whole mod, is there's so many more. Well, the more stuff you find in the ground, the tin, the copper, the emeralds, rubies, and things like that you can actually find, because it makes it so much more interesting to be caving, to be mining.
Sure.
You know? And I love rubber trees and tapping them for rubber. That's nice.
And see, this is a good reason to do it now anyway. Good reason to put it in now is because, in County Gnarlo, I haven't gone out far enough to even find a jungle. I haven't played since jungles are in the game. So now you've got jungles, you've got the extreme hills with emeralds, and you'll have all this other stuff. So as soon as I move into another area, I'll have all that stuff in there, and that gives me a further excuse to build my favorite things, which is long mine tracks. So that's one of the things I miss in it. I really enjoyed seeing how far I could hopping into the castle and flipping the switch and taking a long mine track ride.
Yeah.
Just out across all the hills and valleys.
Yeah, it's something that people used to do a lot earlier in Minecraft, but they don't seem to do the same way now, do they? Is build a giant minecart tracks and everything.
Yeah.
Although I still think these powered rails and everything have made it easy to build, but have killed all the fun and pleasure. I tell you what I feel like with that. I feel like one of these steam engine train snobs. Steam trains were alive when they were these hissing, oil-leaking, guzzling monsters. As soon as they became electric trains, yes, they ran faster and better, but the soul was gone, and that's the same with minecarts. It's missing the soul of them now.
Well, I suppose if you want the steaming and smoking and hissing, you could always use one of the powered minecarts.
Yeah.
Start filling them up with coal again, and if you really want to be really old school about it. Do they even have those? Can you even still build and use those?
Yes, you can.
The powered carts and the storage carts?
Yeah, well, certainly, definitely the storage carts. As far as I know, you can build the powered carts as well. Yeah. Do you know? I've never actually experimented with them though to see how you get them to move and everything. Those things.
Yeah, I've almost never played around with them either. I think I built one in like my first world, just playing around with it, and then never touched them again because then I discovered how to build the boosters, and that was of course back when coal was so precious.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'd far rather waste a few iron building a second minecart and build a booster rather than waste the coal. Oh, I dropped a helmet that time. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to put in a vintage track now.
Yeah. It can be a bit weird though because you've got to push yourself with those really. I do think it would be nice if they just made like if you got two minecarts and you put them both into the crafting grid, you could create like a linked one, so you could put the engine power in the front one, you sit in the one behind, and just put the coal in, and it goes, you know. Now in Technic Pack, there's a thing called Steve's carts, and that is ridiculous in the amount of rail craft stuff it does, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You got to build like rolling machines to be able to build all the different types of track, and you can do silly things with carts. You know, you can build carts that will mine for you if you want, you know, and lay their own track. And I don't particularly like that part of it, but you know, there is parts of it that are nice that you can you have to build a rolling machine to be able to make minecart track and stuff like that. Wow, one piece of coal's lasting that quite a while.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed how long it's lasting. Like, all right, that's not too bad at all.
Yeah, I just said to the bishop. That was the old version of that's what she said when I was a kid. Whenever something like that come along, you know. Just shows I was brought up by grandparents. Yeah, it's going a fair way. A little engine that could.
Mm-hmm.
So you could quite easily move your village about to where you wanted to. Then you just push them into a minecart, and then you put one of these behind it to push them along. The only thing is, I think that it sets off in the opposite direction from what you put the coal into it from. I'm not sure.
I think yeah, I think it's like you're behind it and you click on it and it goes.
It will go in the opposite, yeah.
Exactly.
Away from you.
Whichever direction you're facing in, yeah.
Right, now he's stopped.
Finally stopped.
So if I come to this side and put it in, will he come towards me or will he go away from me? He goes away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a bit of an odd thing to do because you've got to be in front of it to get it to push you. So maybe you have to set him going and run along and jump in a cart before in front of him.
Yeah, I remember the old plans I saw were kind of like that. They were they had a lot in common with the minecart tracks with the glitch boosters.
Yeah.
And that a lot of them, yeah, you started it going and it had kind of a kind of a dog leg in the track, so that
Yep.
once it started going, you could run up ahead of it and click on it and hop in. And I remember the one or two of these that I saw had the same kind of thing. They were built with a dog leg, so you were able to get into it after you started it powered up.
When you break it, you get back the furnace and the cart.
Really? Nice.
Doesn't come back as it doesn't break into one item. It breaks into them both.
It's nice that it actually gives you both back though. You know, the way they did boats for the longest time, I was afraid you might get like the furnace back and maybe one iron ingot or something.
Well, you see, now that's another thing as well. If they'd done the same with boats, you can put the furnace in a boat and then put the boat into the crafting table in front of another boat, and you get sort of like a double wide boat that's got an engine at the back. Yeah, you don't need it, do you, though, I suppose. There you go, that's something for you to do with your modding skills.
Yeah, as I said, if that ever happens, it's months down the road.
Yeah, I fully understand. It's like me, I've always had this thing, I'm going to build a church in Minecraft, and 2 years down the road, I've still not got there yet. I always build furnaces when I don't need to. I've now got 9 in a chest here because I just built one then for that.
Time to build another furnace room.
Yeah. Speaking of furnace rooms, have you ever been down to yours recently?
I haven't. Why? What have you done?
Why would I have done anything? I'm wondering if you'd finished it. That was all, because you said you were going to put a water tank above it, weren't you?
Nope, that was the first thing I thought of whenever we were discussing projects that we've started on and left half finished.
Alright.
You were thinking your church, first thing that popped into my mind was my boiler room. I've got like 3 bars left and I'll be 30.
Hey. Slowed down a bit, hasn't it, really? It's,
A little bit, yeah.
sometimes it's just worthwhile to pop downstairs and come back up again and they start to drop again.
Yeah, sometimes.
Although it's been night time, hasn't it? Although that shouldn't make a difference around here.
Yeah, I was wondering, it's like, how far do you have to be to get things to unspawn? Isn't it like 100 or 120 or something like that?
Things will automatically despawn once you get 128 blocks away, but anything from 35 blocks away and they begin to have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
They begin to check for despawning. They won't spawn closer to you than 24.
That was the one thing I was thinking, and if the top was full of spiders or something.
Yeah.
It's like, move to the other side of your go to the far side of your tree farm. Give everything a chance to despawn and then come back.
Well, the lowest cell from here is about 26 blocks up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it drops a couple then to the vines, and the vines
Sure.
set it to a 24 drop, so the lowest cell they shouldn't despawn from if they appear in them.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
wait a
the
minute.
lady. Yep.
Okay.